Have you ever questioned the reality that you perceive? It's a powerful question, isn't it? Our perceptions are like windows, allowing us to view and interact with the world around us. They shape our understanding of reality, guiding us as we navigate through life. Yet the reality we perceive, the one we trust implicitly, may not be as straightforward as it seems. Intriguingly, our perceptions can often deceive us, creating illusions and distortions that skew our understanding of what's truly real. Let's take a step back and consider the concept of perception. Perception is our brain's interpretation of the sensory information it receives. Essentially, it's the process that allows us to experience the world. But like a mirror that distorts the reflection, our perceptions can sometimes warp reality. So how does this happen? How do our trusted perceptions lead us astray? One way is through selective attention. This cognitive process allows us to focus on certain elements of our environment while ignoring others. It's like a spotlight that illuminates what we deem important, leaving the rest in darkness. But sometimes what's in the dark is just as important as what's in the light. Then we have the illusion of knowledge, a cognitive bias where we believe we know more than we actually do. This illusion can be dangerous, leading us to make decisions based on false assumptions. It's like walking through a maze with a blindfold, believing we know the way out. Inattentional blindness is yet another way our perceptions can deceive us. This occurs when we're so focused on one thing, we completely miss other obvious elements. It's like being so engrossed in a book that you fail to notice the world around you. And let's not forget cognitive biases. These are the mental shortcuts we take that can lead to skewed perceptions and interpretations of the world around us. They're like filters that color our reality, sometimes in ways that distort the truth. Perception, while a powerful tool, can often lead us astray. Let's delve into how this happens. As we peel back the layers of our perceptions, we may discover that reality is far more complex and elusive than we initially thought. But fear not, for understanding these deceptions can lead us to a more accurate perception of the world. Ever heard of the invisible gorilla experiment? This experiment is a striking demonstration of a psychological phenomenon known as selective attention. It's an intriguing concept that reveals how our brains have the ability to focus on certain aspects of a situation while seemingly neglecting others, leading to a somewhat distorted perception of reality. Picture this. A group of people are passing a basketball back and forth. Your task is to count how many times the ball is passed. Simple enough, right? But while you're so focused on counting, a person dressed as a gorilla saunters right through the scene. Would you notice? Surprisingly, a significant number of people don't. Now, you might be wondering, how could I possibly miss a gorilla? But that's the power of selective attention. When we're engrossed in a task, our brain filters out what it deems irrelevant. It's an efficient mechanism that allows us to navigate our complex world without getting overwhelmed by the sheer volume of sensory information. However, there's a catch. This selective focus can sometimes be so intense that it blinds us to other crucial details in our environment. Just like the invisible gorilla, important information can slip right past us, unnoticed, while we're busy concentrating on something else. This phenomenon isn't confined to contrived experiments. It happens in our everyday lives. How many times have you been so engrossed in a book that you didn't hear someone calling your name, or so focused on your smartphone that you bumped into someone on the street? That's selective attention at work. So what's the takeaway here? While selective attention is a necessary tool that helps us navigate our world, it's not infallible. It can cause us to miss crucial information right in front of our eyes. So it's important to occasionally take a step back, broaden our focus, and ensure we aren't overlooking the invisible gorillas in our own lives. Selective attention, while useful, can cause us to miss crucial information right in front of our eyes. Are you sure you know what you think you know? This question may seem puzzling, yet it reveals a profound truth about our understanding of reality. Enter the illusion of knowledge. This is where our minds, in their infinite complexity, fill in missing information with assumptions and suppositions, often leading us down the rabbit hole of erroneous conclusions and decisions. Imagine walking through a familiar neighborhood. Our minds automatically fill in the blanks, creating a sense of understanding and certainty. However, when something out of the ordinary occurs, we're caught off guard. Why? Because our perceived knowledge was not as accurate as we believed. This illusion of knowledge can be perilous, leading us to make decisions based on faulty assumptions. In essence, what we think we know can be a mirage, a distortion of reality. So it's always wise to question, to explore, to learn. Remember, our perceived knowledge can often be far from the truth. How much do you really see when you're focused on something? This question brings us to the concept of inattentional blindness. It's a psychological lack of attention that's not associated with any defects or deficits, but rather it's our failure to notice an unexpected stimulus that is in plain sight. Remember the basketball pass experiment? The one where observers were so focused on counting the passes that they completely missed a person in a gorilla suit walking across the scene? That's a prime example of inattentional blindness. Our brains were so engrossed in one task that we overlooked other obvious elements. This phenomenon serves as a stark reminder that our perception of reality is influenced by where we direct our attention. It's not that we don't have the ability to perceive these things, but when our focus is elsewhere, these details can become invisible to us. Our attention has its limits, and what we miss might surprise us. Do your beliefs and values shape your perception of reality? This question takes us into the fascinating world of cognitive biases. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in our thinking that influence how we interpret events and information. They are shaped by our beliefs, values, and past experiences, and they can significantly skew our understanding of reality. Let's illustrate this with a few examples. Suppose you have strong political beliefs. You are likely to interpret news events in a way that confirms your pre-existing opinions. This is known as confirmation bias. You may dismiss or ignore information that contradicts your beliefs, leading to a distorted perception of reality. This can happen regardless of whether you lean to the left, the right, or anywhere in between on the political spectrum. Another cognitive bias is the halo effect. This is when our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about their character. For instance, if we consider someone attractive or charismatic, we might also perceive them as more intelligent or competent than they actually are. Again, this bias can lead to a skewed understanding of reality. Yet another example is the sunk cost fallacy. This is when we continue a behavior or endeavor because of previously invested resources such as time, money, or effort, even when it's not in our best interest to do so. This cognitive bias can lead us to make irrational decisions based on past investments rather than future benefits. Cognitive biases are deeply ingrained in our thought processes. They can influence our behavior in ways we might not even realize. They shape our perception of the world, often causing us to see things not as they are, but as we are. Understanding and acknowledging our cognitive biases is a crucial step toward perceiving reality more accurately. In conclusion, our cognitive biases can significantly influence our perceptions and interpretations of the world around us. They can lead us to make flawed decisions, form incorrect assumptions, and maintain distorted views of reality. Therefore, it's essential to be aware of our cognitive biases and strive to overcome them. Our biases can significantly influence how we see and interpret the world around us. So, how reliable is our perception of reality? As we've seen, it's often not as trustworthy as we might think. Our brains, while remarkable, are prone to illusions and distortions that can significantly skew our understanding of the world around us. Our selective attention can cause us to overlook crucial details, like the proverbial gorilla in the room. The illusion of knowledge can lead us to overestimate our understanding, filling in gaps with assumptions rather than facts. Inattentional blindness can make us oblivious to obvious changes, and our cognitive biases can color our interpretation of events, often in line with our preconceived beliefs and opinions. It's vital to be aware of these limitations, to question our perceptions, and strive to see beyond our immediate focus and biases. This will not only enhance our understanding of reality, but also make us more open-minded and informed individuals. Remember, perception is not always reality. Question, observe, and learn to see beyond your biases. Your reality might just surprise you.